postscript or commentary. So, if you're here, you probably just watched my the part one of this video set, wherein I compare my mix for the Campaign Like Clockwork Produced Like a Pro mix competition for their song Patiently. And I compared my entry to the winner and the original mix done by the producer, Henning Pauly. I had some salty comments. Not all of it, but, you know, what? I'm an asshole. Fuck off. I can say what I want. Nobody watches these. But, I went to go buy my beer. Cheers to all of you drinking or not, or can't, whatever. And I was thinking about it. Because I remember being in the live stream yesterday during the winners announcements. And I was actually live commenting on my Facebook as I was watching. And there were a couple moments I remember seeing in the chat on YouTube specifically, talking about when Henning said that he wanted a mix that sounded like his but better. And I remember there being a lot of sort of discussion and butthurt is the only way, you know, in the chat about that fact, about that feature, which, you know, I think it comes from the cognitive dissonance of telling folks, hey, may the best mix win, and the seeming contradiction, at least on the surface, of, well, I, you know, wanted the mix that sounded most like mine. Best implying some sort of objective sense. The one I like most, you know, being, I don't want to say favoritism, but implies a certain slightly less than objective criteria. And I remember myself too, yesterday being, I was disappointed at, that's the dog, being disappointed. Oh, Jesus. I'll wait. Okay. Great. Where was I? Yes, I was disappointed because I wanted to win some cool stuff. I also it would have been nice to have my skills, if not talent, the skills and hard work that I put in these many, many years, learning how to mix and things, have them be validated. Validation is its own weird thing where we sort of choose the sources from whom we want that acceptance and validation. In this particular instance, I was like, man, this would be great. Also, and this is going to sound like a total dick thing to say, but after I submitted my mix, I started listening to other submissions, and there were a lot of good ones. I did not in that entire time hear any that I liked more than mine. I am going somewhere with this. I liked mine the most. Therefore, I thought mine was, I wasn't stupid enough to think it would be chosen, but I figured I at least had a shot. You know, maybe a runner's up. Even though in my heart of hearts I knew I wasn't going to win. I never win any sort of any competition based on subjective measures. I just don't. Never have. Part of it's because I'm fucking weird. Part of it is because especially as I've gotten older, I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks. I'm out to please myself. And especially in the arena in which I play and perform and do that. Look, I've got a full-time career, a day job, and I love it. And it pays the bills, and I enjoy it. I mix, I record, I write, I do all that stuff for fun, mostly. Also, I play guitar semi-professionally for people, all that. It'd be nice to have it mixing, especially as a side hustle, because I really enjoyed doing it. But I came to a point for myself long ago, or long enough at least, where I basically had to draw a line in the sand, where I was like, if I'm going to do this to please other people, I'm going to be miserable the rest of my fucking life. So at that point, I was like, okay, from that point on, I'm going to do this just to please me. And me only, and, you know, my friends and everything who actually have a passing interest in this. But I am serving myself first. last in most cases only when it comes to music and mixing and things like that. Which I realized as I was going to get my beer a few minutes ago. I realized that the butthurt was probably misplaced. And it's for that simple reason. I liked my mix the most out of all the ones I heard. So whose would I pick? I'd pick mine. If and you know, Henning and the judges liked the one that sounded most like his, and that's the one he picked. And honestly, why the fuck shouldn't he? Now we can sit here and we can debate the merits of the mixes. There are certain, I do feel there are, even in music, certain objective things that one can debate. I think Warren is really good. He was in the feedback he was providing. He was very specific and objective. He's talking about the lows and the kick or little things. Not everybody is as articulate or has enough expertise on that level to share that sort of objective feedback. But really, it's like Injustice for All. The mix engineer telling the story of Lars wanting this certain drum sound, and he thought he was joking, but he was serious, and that's why the drums sound really weird on that album. The client gets what the client wants because the client is paying. Now, I will say, I do think part of the issue with that was, which is, for the judges to say, that's how the industry works. If a producer sends you a rough mix saying this is what we want it to sound like, you need to make it sound like that. And I agree that is, a truism. But the on the other hand of that, no matter how true that statement is, and it is true, saying it out loud feels kind of like a cop-out. I don't know. Again, not to say it's not true, but I feel like it's the cop. Well, this is how the industry works. I picked the one that's my favorite, instead of just saying, yeah, I like this one the best. Suck a bag of dicks. I don't know. But I also realize, like, I like my mix, and outside the couple tweaks I'm going to do, I really dig it. And if I were in Henning's position and I sent, I included that, like, hey, mix this song. Here's the mix I did. And somebody sent me back a track with those toms, and the toms sound like garbage. They do. I know. I think they suck. But that's what the band and the producer wants. That's great. But if I received one of those with those toms, I'd be like, yeah, no, sorry, not going for that. That's not going to win. I don't know. Part of this was to sort of articulate my own sort of thought processes about it and maybe rationalize my disappointment. But also, look, I sound salty sometimes. Whatever. I can. But yeah, the mixing and mastering, or mixing versus mastering thing, not going to go there at the moment. But in terms of them just picking their favorites, yeah, I get, on the surface, if one were to go in with an assumed sense of objectivity in music, which is, an art in and of itself is the most subjective thing that, there can be, then yeah, I understand being disappointed and maybe a little annoyed and pissed off that you think it's going to be judged on objective merits, and then to hear someone say, well, I just went to the one I liked most. Yeah, that kind of sucks. That said, that's how we all choose things. Christ, I don't listen to country because I don't like it. People think country's the jam. It's all about personal taste and subjectivity. Now, I will say one of the annoying things in chat were the guys who are, I don't know, they come off like dickhead sycophants. They're just like, well, actually, he did a whole live stream, and if you'd have watched that, you could have figured out how to mix it the way he wanted it. And like those, and these weren't the judges, but like those people, they can suck a dick. Like, come on, crawl out of somebody's ass and fucking actuallying mix monkey. Anyway, whatever. So those are my thoughts on that. That's just a little postscript. And now on to the next video. If you stuck with me this far and want to see the changes I make to the mix that I submitted based on what the winning entry was, yeah, check next vid. Cool. Bye.